Hello and welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. So, it's been a while since I've last uploaded. Two reasons for that, really. The first was the fact I could not get to play this game during drops. When drops were happening, I was getting home from work and sitting in, a 60 to 70 player queue. Then I would load in, get an error in the hideout, get an error trying to do a scav, or get an error trying to jump into a raid, and then I'd be back in that queue. So I really, for the whole 2 weeks drops were happening, I just did not do a thing. And the next thing was, after I actually got to play and record video and stuff, I didn't have the time to edit it. So this video, it's a little bit later than it should have been. So I apologise for that. It's not an issue. I've got all the footage saved up, but it probably means I can just blitz through a lot of footage because I've got 2 weeks off coming up. But anyway, in this one we're trying to do the Extortionist. As you can see, I'm really struggling with the new inertia system. So it's very much well into the wipe right now, as of me voicing over this video, but the footage itself is from a little while ago. As you can see, I'm running an ADAR that's a little bit less than factory standard. So the ADAR is from level 1 skier. The hand grip was the bar that you can do at level 1 peacekeeper, the foregrip, and the sight is the one you can get from peacekeeper as well. I think it's the RMR. It's the one that goes on the Burris field. You've got to buy the 2 different parts, but you can buy all these parts standard from level 1 vendors. And I think it's a really nice gun. I really like the sight profile on that, and as you can see by the headshot on that scav, it didn't do too bad. Now unfortunately I was going to loot him, but I just didn't get the opportunity because I got hit by a Mosin there, and I've got no idea. I know it came from the left, but I don't know whether it was a player or just a scav. So as soon as I heal up, I'm just not going to take the chance to fight this. There's no gain for me here. I don't need to kill scavs. I'm not in that mission. I probably shouldn't have killed that one on the left, but I wanted the experience. If my mission is to get into a raid and secure an item and get out, I'm not really interested in getting into fights. I'm more likely to shy away from the fights because there's no benefit, if that makes sense. If I'm doing a quest objective, I'm already at a disadvantage because there's more on the line for me if I get into a fight. So one of the main objectives of the Extortionist mission is to grab the unknown key from this dead scav in this bush here. Now, unfortunately for me, it's already been looted, so I can't really do my quest unless someone's opened it on the other side. I had previously got the key, I just forgot to bring it in this raid. I think I'd had a daily to do kills. I kill some scavs on customs anyway. I really do enjoy the daily system. I think the daily system is a great introduction to the game. I like doing the tasks, but sometimes they just get very repetitive. If it's your 3rd or 4th wipe, then you can tend to get a bit bored with the starter tasks. It feels like the more the wipe happens, more wipes happen, the more I'm doing the standard first beginning missions and less of the actual fun missions at the end, Shoot a Born in Heaven, things like that. The missions where you're generally having some sort of, I wouldn't say challenge, but just fun. Now I think I've also got the missions to get, the golden, not the golden Zippo, that's after extortion. But I do have to get into, the Dom's building to get some keys for that pocket watch quest, and right here I make a fatal mistake. Trying to shoot that scav and failing alerted the other PMC on the other side here, and had I not opened fired, they probably would have ran around, you know what I mean, and I would have got the drop on them. But I think there was 2 of them, so I'm not too worried about that, and he did have an RFB, so you know what I mean, 7.62 by 51 is going to outshoot 5.56 any day of the week. Especially since we both had semi-automatic weapons. If it had been an M4 versus an RFB, it's more of an even playing field because that fully automatic, especially in this close quarters combat, really helps. So I jump straight back in with a bit more of a basic ADAR this time. Just Jaeger level 1 scope with the the different gas block from mechanic level 1. And I've brought the key with me this time, so that's a big help. My mission here is just get the quest objective and get out. That guy with the SKS was like... He had the drop on me, and I didn't know where he was. And realistically speaking, I've got no reason to fight him. Like... knowing the spawns in this area, chances are if I stop to fight him, it's going to pull other people in that spawned at old gas station, and it's just going to end me trapped in between two people. And that is really not what I want to be doing. I just want to grab the quest objective and get out. So you really only start killing things when they're in your way, like this scav here that pops up. Honestly, the AI was a bit wonky on this scav. I don't know how he didn't like just lock on me and start killing me. But you see, I don't even loot him because there was no point. I don't need the stuff. I just need to grab this and leave. So if you already have the key from the corpse in the bush on the other side, you can just come straight to this cabin and pick up this little evidence folder, and that's all you need to give to Skier. It is sometimes easier to pick up that key on your way out, or pick up the key and die with it, and then spawn on this other side. I prefer to be on the other side heading towards this extract, so you pick up the quest objective at the end of the match rather than at the beginning like I've done here. But either or is useful. I don't know how I didn't see him at any point on my right hand side during that whole process. I don't know if he just jumped over the wall. But again, I'm not trying to fight him. I go into the underground, I hide, I try and get some distance. I really don't have the scope for a close quarters engagement. That's why I'm looking at this new one that I've just found. I'm thinking, is that better than what I've got? Can I use that? But unfortunately it's a dovetail only. It's not great to engage at that distance with a scope on your weapon. Which is why I love the canted sights you can get. Starting from level 2 Peacekeeper. But it's 6 and 2 3s. I think I went into this customs game with the wrong scope. I generally like this scope, though. I enjoy and I prefer engaging enemies from a distance. But like you can see here, I've just kind of the area I've spawned in isn't brilliant for this type of engagement. That's why I go up here and try and get some distance. But nothing ends up happening. He doesn't give chase. I think he engages a different enemy further near old gas station, which, it's fine by me. I just want to get my quest and get done. It always surprises me how much loot is actually in this area. And I'm always kind of disappointed by it at the same time. Not because of the lack of loot, but because it's such a cool place to fight in and to hold up. But it has some little potential because nobody goes there. Like this area at the end, I think I had fights with people in this area a grand total of twice since the expansion. It's kind of really wasted. It should be the perfect area to fight a scav boss, but every time I've been up there, the scav bosses never spawn. I don't know, if there's some sort of curse, but it's just a case of how many times can you say in a sentence? That's when you know I'm struggling for words to speak, because I end up using tons of filler words. But I digress. I love this area, and I think it's great to have close quarters engagements in, but there is absolutely no reason to go into this area. Other than the loot, it's kind of meh. It would be nice if this little area here spawned, it potentially even had its own scav boss spawn. If Rashala could spawn in that little, area, I think that would be good too. But luckily I've just found a much better optic for this map. I like the EOTech optics. I never usually choose to run those optics themselves. It's always been, I found it, stick it on a gun, I'll use that. I don't know why. I mean, I much prefer different optics. My go-to optic is usually it's oh god, which one is it? It's the Voodoo scope with a canted sight PK06. Usually that's a really good, middle ground. So you've got both close quarters and long distance. Long distance? I just can't speak right now. That's not my fault. That's the fact that I'm recording, and for some reason every time I turn on the recording, my ability to speak goes down. It's like I'm an RPG character, and the minute I press the record button, someone just takes all the points out of intelligence and charisma, and they just sit there doing nothing. But this hasn't been a very action-packed episode. For that I kind of apologise, but I also don't at the same time. For reason being that Tarkov, yes, it's great to watch people have gunfights, but sometimes gun battles are not the best way to progress. Sometimes hiding from an enemy to secure a quest objective, or an item you need for your hideout, is more beneficial than getting into a fight and dying. I think the hardest thing in Tarkov to learn isn't about map knowledge, it's not about what ammo is best, it's not about what gun is best for your level. It's simply about when to fight and when not to fight. You know, like, I really enjoy getting into a good scrap, but you know what I mean, if you want to have a stash full of loot and you don't want, to be in a bad mood because you died, sometimes it's better just to avoid some fights. It's difficult. I've been playing this game for 3 years, and I go and watch people like Pestily and Deadly Slob and watch them play, and they are absolute titans when it comes to PvP. They're flying around corners, they're killing people, they're going 3 for 1. But they play this game for a living. As many hours as I've put in, I must be well over 3,000 hours now. As many hours as I've put in, their hours, they put in more than mine. 10 to maybe 50 times more hours than I have. So it's okay to be shit at Tarkov. I mean, just look at what happens now. I can't jump over a porta potty. And I try so many times and I make so much noise. Like, it's okay to be bad at this game. This game is meant to be difficult, and I think a lot of people they don't realise that this game isn't, it isn't going to be a walk in a park. And that's okay, it's meant to be difficult, it's meant to suck sometimes. I mean, if it's ruining your Sunday night when you're having a game and you're losing, turn the game off, go do something else for a bit. The only time I get annoyed at Tarkov, or, well, like when I should get annoyed at it, I used to get really annoyed at it, just generally for bad performance, but now it's more about, if there's something out of my control, like hackers and cheaters and things. But the best way to get rid of that kind of mentality is when you get a few wipes in and you've lost tons and tons of gear because you never used it. You come to realise the best thing about it is like collecting these memories. Like when I've killed people and had good engagements and I've recorded them on Nvidia Shadowplay, that stuff's permanent. But that's pretty much going to be it for this episode. I'm going to get out right here. I'm going to, give Skier whatever this little piece of paper is that's so important that he's going to grace me with about 4,000 XP. I mean, I don't know what's on it. There's probably some quest information in there that I should have read and should have really paid attention to, but I don't really care. Tarkov story-wise is not a... Like I don't play Tarkov for the story. It's the same way a lot of people play Dark Souls for like the lore and stuff. I'm like, let me shoot someone. Let me swing a sword. That's going to be it from me. I hope you've had a good day, and I'll see you next time.